Since he started forming and constituting his government, the president has shown even more and deliberate efforts to have the people of Luo Nyanza in critical leadership positions in his government, including through the appointment of Mr. Eliud Owalo as Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Mr. George Ngonga Makgoi as Chief of Staff to the Deputy President, as well as the recent nomination of Dr. Raymond Omolo as Principal Secretary for Interior and National Administration and Mr. Alfred Kombudo as Principal Secretary for Trade. These are critical positions that, if used well, can be catalysts for meaningful change, not only in Nyanza region, but in the entire country. Ladies and gentlemen, it is evidently clear that the President, in a true demonstration of statesmanship, is embracing a demographic that did not support his candidacy. This should inspire the Luo community to rethink our political relationships and posturing going forward, and fully rally behind the President and his team for the greater good of the country. The appointment of these young Luo professionals is inspiring in so many ways. They represent the most competent, hardworking, and intelligent young people in the Luo community in particular, and Kenya in general. They have a solid track record in their past professional engagement, a history of work ethic and perfection. As Principal Secretary for Internal Security and National Administration, Dr. Omolo is easily the most visible and first among equals, noting that his docket is arguably the most powerful and influential among government ministries. The appointment places Dr. Omolo among the top 3 most powerful and influential individuals outside the presidency. Dr. Omolo's appointment is as inspiring as it is symbolic. It perpetuates a trend by the president to show faith in young talents, and is a remarkable departure from the traditional fascination with the old guard in previous regimes. Dr. Omolo is the youngest person to ever hold the position of Principal Secretary for Interior in the history of independent Kenya. While Dr. Omolo's appointment will restore faith in the values of hard work and meritocracy and inspire dreams and ambition among young people anywhere else in the country, for the Luo community, it's hugely symbolic, considering that the last Luo to hold that position was the late Hezekiah Oyugioga. Dr. Omolo's appointment is hugely consequential from whichever perspective you look at it. Firstly, it symbolizes a departure from a system that rewards chronism and dynasties to a reward system based on hard work and merit. Any young Luo hustler can work hard and aspire to represent their country at the highest level, regardless of their surname. It is symbolic also in the sense that Dr. Omolo, Mr. Owalo, Mr. Makgoi, and Mr. Kombudo represent the new face of leadership of the Luo nation in a dramatic shift from the traditional thinking. We are placing more faith in young and competent professionals, not politicians, in the traditional sense, to spearhead our development agenda. We now realize that when the President proclaimed his manifesto for Luo Nyanza, it was not mere rhetoric. He meant it. Dr. Omolo, Mr. Owalo, Mr. Makgoi, and Mr. Kombudo are our doorbells to the President's house. When we wish to remind His Excellency the President to follow up on his promises, we merely need to send any of these brothers to him